We got to see so much of what your relationship is like on Total Divas. And what else was really cool about that show is we got to see your relationship with your father. And I think people know Jim the Anvil Neidhart as a wrestler, but we got to like learn about him as like a dad, and like that guy's hilarious.
My dad, honestly, like I remember when my dad came to my kindergarten PTA meeting, and he showed up on a ninja motorcycle with no shirt on. He was wearing a fanny pack. Remember that little pink hat my dad used to wear? It was just like this little pink hat. He showed up with that hat on and a pair of Ray-Ban sunglasses. Like he showed up like the Anvil. But he had no shirt on. He had 3 different types of spandex on that were layered because he loved spandex. And he had these knee pads that were on, like he was wearing Reebok's pumps, but then the knee pads were down by his like shoes. So they were like, he like looked like a pony. And he showed up to the PTA meeting like that. I remember it was like kindergarten. All the other kids, it was like bring your parent to work day. And all the other kids' parents were like, you know, I'm a dentist and I'm a librarian and I'm a banker. And, you know, my dad came in and I was so excited. I mean, sweat was dripping off of his chest. He had no shirt on and he was wearing spandex and a Rolex watch and he just looked like a maniac. And of course, I was so excited. You know, think about it. This guy's 300 pounds. He's got no shirt on. He looks like, I mean, he's just barrel chested.
He's got that goatee.
I would say he was just resembling Otis at some points.
Oh, yeah.
So he comes in and so then it's my dad's turn to talk. And and so I'm thinking, I'm so excited. I'm like in kindergarten here. My dad tells everybody in the kindergarten class that don't worry about going to school, worry about doing well in sports. He's like, and I was like, even as a 6-year-old, and the teacher was trying to pull my dad off stage, like a referee trying to interfere in a match. She was like, get him off stage. My dad's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry about doing well in school. What you need to do is do well in sports, because I got everything from sports. I never even went to class. I had people like my mom, and we were like, oh my God, my dad was literally telling these kindergartners not to worry about school. And so I will never forget that. They never invited him back. And I was like, I'm so traumatized. My parents are crazy, but my dad especially. You know, when your dad's the Anvil, he's the Anvil. He's the Anvil on television. He's the Anvil at home. That's why like a lot of guys didn't ask me out when I was like in high school. People didn't want to knock on the door and get my dad pulling his beard, going like, "Hi, you know, can I help you?" Guys did not ask me out. So going back to your question, when my dad was on Total Divas, he was a trip on that show. I mean, you know, he definitely just let loose. And I think he loved doing that show because once his career was over in wrestling, it gave him a chance to feel like he was still a part of something, you know, because it's hard sometimes when you're an athlete and like, you know, back when my dad was alive and we were doing Total Divas, like he wasn't, you know, gosh, it's kind of hard even saying this, but he didn't always feel like he was wanted. You know, like WWE does so much more now to honor legends and to bring back people and to go, you know, to do like, but back then they weren't doing all of that. Like it was hard unless you were getting put in the Hall of Fame, which my dad was like, when he was alive, he was pissed off that he wasn't in the Hall of Fame. He was like, why the hell is Hillbilly Jim in before me? But I mean, I'm just being honest. Like those wrestlers have all those. My dad loved Hillbilly Jim, but he's like
Hillbilly Jim.
My dad loved Hillbilly Jim, but he's like, damn it, I should be in there before Hillbilly Jim. But my dad was so funny on Total Divas because he really felt like now I'm gonna have Hillbilly Jim calling me.
It's gonna be the one headline from this interview.
But my dad just felt like he got to be a part of something, and he loved like the limelight. He loved the cameras on him, and he loved all the attention, and he loved feeling like he was a part of something. So that's one of the things I loved about Total Divas is I loved having my dad included on that show, even if gummies were involved.